It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
3-4 change tough at all, or like what's this like for you to change defensive philosophies this far into your career?
Not really. I mean, last year we played 3-4 a little bit. I mean, you guys remember the Arizona game? That game was pretty fun. I feel a little bit more free, playing 3-4. I mean, we go back and forth, but playing 3-4 kind of reminds me of playing the Arizona game last year.
Journo Judd in the house.
Well, there's more. There's a lot.
3-4. I want to know about the 3-4. Danielle Hunter, man, very relaxed. He is never that good as far as like answering questions. And hey, you guys recall the Cardinals game?
I'm glad you brought this up. And before we get to write that down predictions, we'll play another clip or two of Judd hurling questions at Vikings players. But I saw a clip. I think it was on the Vikings official. It was some sort of just like social media post or something.
Yep.
And it was on their TikTok account, Vikings TikTok. And it was Za'Darius Smith going through a drill, and then Danielle Hunter going through a drill, and Za'Darius doing the drill and then like flexing at the camera with a big smile. And he's got a huge personality, right? And Danielle is a little bit more understated. He's a grinder. He doesn't talk a lot to the media and stuff. But I feel like Za'Darius Smith's personality is already, and maybe it's a combination of his personality rubbing off on Danielle Hunter, and maybe it's a matter of just like a new culture and coaches that are more just chatty with players and stuff and making eye contact in the hallways, all the things that they complained about a few months ago. But Danielle looks like he's a new man or something 5 months removed from the season, for sure.
That's a very good point. Yeah, because Smith is fun.
Thank you. Yeah.
Smith's going to be fun. Yeah. No, I like your point.
Yeah, it was a good point. Let's, first of all, this is Purple Daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. And the show is presented by our friends at Surly Brewing Company and TCL, one of the world's best-selling consumer electronics brands. They have a new lineup of award-winning TVs delivering the most entertainment with stunning resolution, all at an affordable cost. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL. All right, Judd was out there. We'll get to his OTA observations officially later in the show, but let's hear more from players.
Let's do it here. Let's go to.
How different is that too from last year, where it felt more uptight and things like that? How different is the room, and just as far as the whole mentality right now?
Like I said, the biggest thing is just getting everybody's confidence. When you get everybody more confident in playing football, then everything just builds off that. They go out there, they know they're going to make plays, they know they're going to do their job and all that stuff. So the biggest thing is just having everybody's spirits up and then keeping confidence in each guy out there.
See, whenever I hear stuff like that, I think, oh, so they were all just terrified and not confident, or it's hard not to just think the opposite when you hear a quote like that.
That's exactly right. That's 1,000% right.
Okay, what about Dalvin Cook?
Yeah, let's go to Dalvin.
As far as vibes go from the last year or so?
I'm not going to get up and get into comparing, from last year and this year. This year's a clean start for us, and we just want to look forward to what we got ahead. And that's us chasing the world championship, and it's going to come by us trusting the process and digging deep every day, believing in what we believe in, and just attacking. And that's got to be the mindset.
But I love the grizzled tactic of trying to get the player to disparage the previous regime, but then he clearly, public relations had told him at some point, hey, they're going to try and do the comparison contrast thing. Don't fall for that pitch.
Yep.
Just lay off that pitch.
Well, and Dalvin had broached it with the previous answer, and so I was just trying to get more because he had, Hunter and Cook basically said coming to work is fun now, and you know what? They're probably right. Like, I don't think they're full of BS. I will say this: seeing Madison wear 2 and Cook wear 4 in purple looks really weird.
Do you now buy what Tom Brady was saying a couple of years ago, which is it's going to make it impossible to know who is what position and stuff? And that there's just a number 4 in the middle of the defensive line or something. I see Tom Brady's point for sure.
He's absolutely not wrong. It is weird. So like Dantzler's now number 3. Yeah, I totally get his point, and I don't disagree. Yeah. And it looks weird to me.
Yeah. So, all right, should we fire this up here? Little write that down session, some accountability, make sure that we're holding each other's feet to the fire. All right, I'll hit this, you hit that.
Most make predictions and then never admit they're wrong. Yeah, That's not Mackie and Judd. This is the place where we just totally own our horrible predictions.
Write this down.
And eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Write that down.
It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
When are you guys going to admit that you were wrong? Every week, every Wednesday. You can't come at us with that attack. In fact, we probably shouldn't do this. It's probably damaging to our reputations and careers, but we put statistics next to our predictions. The only show in America that does something as crazy as this. And here's how it works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be football-related or show-related on this show. On the classic edition on Mackie and Judd, we open up for other sports and other things. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And listeners, if you want to participate, you can send us a message through the Score North app. And we'll bring you on, like our guy Rob. So we had Rob, and we'll bring him on in just a little bit here via satellite in the woods last time because we had to pre-tape, and now we're going to get him live. So we'll do that in just a few minutes. But are you guys ready to be held accountable?
That all depends on if it's as bad as the traditional Write That Down was.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this again.
Not as many things came off the board here.
Okay, I'll take this.
Only one.
That's
it was an incomplete pass for Judd. You said the Vikings will not play a division opponent until at least week 6.
Well, I was just 5 weeks off. I mean, why can't you cut me a break?
Literally the first game out of the gate is a division opponent. Just
I don't understand
Judd
why you
drops
can't
back
cut
to
me a
pass,
break.
throws the pass over the middle, intercepted.
I'm Kirk against the Falcons. Didn't his first pass get picked off by a linebacker?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm Kirk against the Falcons.
All right, I had a nice week here, finally. USFL parlay went wrong. We'll go with the wrong ones first here. I had the Stallions, the Gamblers, and the Breakers. I think 2 of those teams actually lost. So
they folded.
One of them folded.
They lost.
The Gamblers
folded,
are just not even part of the league anymore.
They're just like, screw it, we're out.
The Stallions escaped the fenced-in pasture. Okay, the Judd it was a Judd prediction. I thought you would have the Vikings on 10 wins when you picked the schedule for the first time. And I wasn't even that close. You had them on 8 wins.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go lower than that.
I thought you were going to bring some positivity and then ramp it down more negatively later in the. But you started negative with 8. So
you know what? Vegas and I like minds. Vegas and I very like minds.
Okay.
All right, I did have a nice little red zone touchdown here. I told you guys the Vikings would play the Packers in either week 1 and or week 18.
Good stuff.
There you go.
Nice call.
Said the Vikings would have 3 primetime games or fewer when the NFL schedule is released. They only have 2.
Yeah.
And I said the AFC West will be represented 8 or more times on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. I believe the tally is 10.
Yeah.
So 10. I don't know how to contextualize that because I didn't go back and do research on like what's the record. So I didn't give myself a touchdown here. It's just a correct prediction. It's like a chunk play. It's a chunk play.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice chunk play.
Nothing for the listeners came off the board. Declan had a bunch of stuff come off the board. Initially, this looks like a terrible week for Declan, but hold tight. You said the Vikings would get a Sunday Night Football game, and it would be against an NFC North team. They actually don't play on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, they might get flexed later.
But yeah, you can take it off.
You said the Vikings will open and close the regular season at US Bank Stadium. You said they'll open the season. I'm sorry, this was correct. You said they'd open the season at home. I miscategorized this one. We'll get that corrected in the official spreadsheet. It's my bad. You said the Vikings would get at least 3 primetime games on the schedule release, which was incorrect. However, look at these. Couple of touchdowns here. Declan said the first divisional game.
Judd. Or Phil, that's not right.
I'm sorry.
That's
Man,
incorrect.
Dude, I don't know what's happening here.
What's going on here?
What happened to you?
Yeah.
God dang it.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like maybe Judd should take over
Nope.
the accountability
Nope.
section.
You do a great job.
Now I need to go in here and
now
do
there's
some
multiple
Well,
things you have to
so
fix.
he's got you take a touchdown away. You swap the predictions. The completion percentage is going to be right.
Do I need to retire? Like what?
Yeah, this was.
Dude, here's
This is
what I think
bad.
happened. Here's what I think happened. You put that nail in the wall. You severed that pipe, and
It has been on my mind. I've literally lost thousands of dollars by driving a nail through the
and it threw your whole
sewage
week off.
pipe.
It threw your whole week off. I understand completely. You do a great job. I think you do a fantastic job.
Okay, I'm just reshuffling the spreadsheet here now. Okay.
Yeah. But his completion percentage won't change, right?
No.
Because he got
That's
one
true. I
wrong
didn't
and
think
one
of
right.
that. Yeah.
We'll take a touchdown off the board.
Yeah,
But you did get an actual touchdown here. You said this is a great prediction. You said the Seahawks and Broncos will be a primetime game, and it will be played in the month of September.
That is a bomb.
Dude, that puts it over the September one.
That makes up for
way
all
over
my.
the top.
That's a great prediction.
Good job, Dex.
So with that, all right, ignore the touchdowns. Declan has 5 touchdowns, not 6, but it still leads everyone.
Yep.
I'm at 35.8% completions. Declan at 28.3%. Listeners at 24.3%. Judd at 22% with 2 touchdowns. All right, there we go. We made it through.
Yeah.
We made it through the rain, as Barry Manilow would say. Let's bring our guy Rob in here, guest listener predictor, making another appearance on the show. What's going on, Rob?
Not much, Phil, but before we go too much further, I got to tip our cap to us, paying respect to the 2 greatest winners in Minnesota Timberwolves history with our Kevin Garnett and Jimmy Butler attire today. So I like where your head's at.
Let's get it, dude. Yep. If there's a Mount Rushmore of great Minnesota Timberwolves, I don't know that there's even a third and a fourth. I think it's Kevin Garnett, Jimmy Butler.
You're not wrong.
Kevin Love is off sort of sightseeing with binoculars, looking up at the rest. Karl Anthony Towns maybe at some point. So you've done this before, so you know how this drill works here. We're gonna go around the room 3 times. We're gonna make football related or show related predictions. We'll start with Rob, and then we'll go over to Judd, Declan, and then back to me. What's your strategy here?
So we're going to stay ahead of the chains first and foremost, and then we're going to dial it up on 3rd and long. So we'll see what happens.
Love
You
it.
go, Clint Kubiak.
I love that. That's great.
These write that down predictions, by the way, are presented in part by our friends at Livia, Judd. We're all looking as the summer months hit us in the face here to not be fat slobs anymore, quite frankly.
Yep. And my friends at Livia Weight Control Centers will help you not only lose the weight, but probably most importantly, keep it off. Since last September, I am down 40 pounds. Woo. And I'm feeling great. I'm looking, I wouldn't say great, better. And my clothes all fit. How nice is that? Livia's simple
Way
start.
to sell it, Judd.
Well, I'm not going to lie to the people. Look, I don't lie. I don't lie to the listeners. I'm not going to say I'm looking great, but I will say I look better. And I want you to join me now. Livia's new Simple Start plan, only $59. You receive one-on-one personalized and guided support online or in person from their team of experts, their dietitian. So yes, that means if you are outside the state that you can zoom in and have a consultation or consultations once a week. Visit livia.com, 855-GO-LIVEA. Livia, LIVEA.com, and they will not only help you take the weight off, but keep it off, which is where I am now, and I'm very happy.
Love it. Also, a shout out to our friends at Dennis Kirk. Dennis Kirk's been a partner of ours for 3 years now at Score North, and if you're a motorcycle rider, whether it's a Harley, Indy, and Metric Cruiser sport bike, if you're Ragnar out there, I know you're watching. I know you're listening, Ragnar, okay?
Got nothing else to do.
He's just riding around all off season on his little motorcycle.
He's
That's
crying.
Asking for $20,000 a game. Free shipping on orders, right? That's what it was. Wasn't he asking for $20K?
Yeah, he wanted a big payday.
Yeah.
He found out what Crunch was making to slide down the steps every night.
Yeah, before he tore up Cat's
Oh,
dad's
that's
knee.
right.
Sliding down the steps on the sled.
Amazing. Dennis Kirk offers free shipping on orders over $89, over 160,000 parts and accessories in stock, and same-day shipping on orders placed before 8 p.m. They ship today. Ride more, wait less with Dennis Kirk and DennisKirk.com. All right, Rob, you are under center. What is your first prediction?
All right, so like I said, we're gonna find the open man. We're not gonna throw any crazy stuff out there on 1st and 10. So write this down, gentlemen. In week 2, when the Minnesota Vikings go to Philadelphia and play the Eagles on Monday Night Football, the Vikings will surrender 170 rushing yards or more.
Wow.
To the NFL's best rushing offense from last year in Philadelphia. Write that down.
And so,
Yuck.
yeah, Jalen Hurts is part of
Jalen
that.
Hurts, yeah.
Jalen
And
Hurts
their
could go for 50.
three-headed backfield.
Yeah, they run the ball, baby.
That's very Zolgadian in the just dour nature of a prediction. I
Well,
like it.
but it's probably, even if the defense
right.
is better, it's new system. It's a lot of new players, new coaches and stuff. It's going to take them the first month for sure just to figure out what they're doing, I would think. Oh, we'll find out, I guess. Yeah.
Write this down.
All right, Judd.
All right, this is a just a little bit of a tease to what I saw at the first day of OTAs that were open to the media yesterday, which we'll get to after Write That Down. Irv Smith Jr. will catch a touchdown pass for the Vikings in the opener against Green Bay. Irv Smith Jr. will catch a touchdown pass in the opener against the Packers.
The
All right.
Packers.
Just got to keep him in bubble wrap until
Keep him
week
upright.
1. Just make
Keep
sure
him upright, baby.
he is not doing anything too strenuous.
Write this down.
Declan?
All right, write this down. Actually, I'm going to change this on the fly as I literally look at it. I want to change it up a little bit. It's a Lewis Cine prediction. Write this down. Lewis Cine will have top 5 odds for Defensive Rookie of the Year by a credible betting outlet.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It's like
So Lewis
preseason,
Cine-
whenever those come out.
So when Defensive Rookie of the Year odds come out, preseason too, obviously, he will have top 5 odds to be Defensive NFL MVP.
I'm just going to see if there's any betting lines posted right now. So are we?
I have not looked at this.
So if there's, here's my question. If there's odds right now, which it looks like there are, there
Okay.
are some last week. Well, you might be actually. Let me just see what they are, because you might be.
Okay.
It's possible you're right away.
And I have not. I had another Lewis Cine prediction, and I just wanted to change it because I thought it was kind of lame.
Okay, so he is not. I am on sportsbettingdime.com. He's not listed among the top 12 favorites. But I guess my question
Okay.
is, this could evolve. So,
Yep.
you get until week 1 to lock it
Yes.
in at some point.
Boom. That's fine.
Okay.
We'll have top 5 odds for Defensive Rookie of the Year by week 1.
Covers.com has Lewis Cine 20th, 18th right now. So
Okay.
he did. Ooh, Andrew Booth Jr. is higher than Lewis Cine. Interesting.
Write this down.
That's a mistake.
Well, all right.
That's a mistake.
That's-
Why don't you fly down to
that's
Vegas?
dumb. That's incorrect.
Thanks for playing. Vegas.
All right, write this down. Danielle Hunter will play in at least 16 regular season games for the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
I almost said 17, but if they have the division clinched in week 18 or something, I don't want to get burned because they sat Danielle Hunter.
Right.
I think he's going to play healthy this year. He's going to find a way. He looks like a happy man. He just looks like he's ready to rock and roll. Za'Darius Smith is going to be good for him.
Write this down.
So I think that's a touchdown if it happens, right? Because A, it's
yeah.
football, and B, he hasn't done
Yeah,
it
he
in a
hasn't.
long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, back over to Rob. Your second prediction.
All right. Speaking of Andrew Booth, his starter in front of him, Mr. Cameron Dantzler, write this down, fellas. Dantzler will allow a passer rating of 80.0 or better throughout the 2022 season.
Okay.
And that's going to be according to Pro Football Reference and not the folks in Cincinnati at Pro Football Focus.
Okay. Pro Football Reference.
Nice. Nice clarification.
PFR. Just want to
good.
make sure we're picking the right football analytics websites here. Okay.
Good me.
Right.
Good me. Yep, got it.
All right.
All right, Judd.
Write
Yeah.
this down.
Man, a few words.
Write this
Write
down.
this down. Well, I thought there might be more there. It's fine.
It was kind of an awkward pause.
It was a longer pause
It
than
was-
I
it
think
was a-
any of us
I'm gonna-
anticipated.
Yeah.
Za'Darius Smith.
I left a pause in case you guys wanted to jump in with more commentary.
I thought
And
for
then-
sure I was going to get blasted for that one, but I
Yeah.
appreciate the silence.
And then when
No,
I
I
realized
remember
no one
right.
was jumping in, I should have jumped in quicker with some sort of sounder to transition into Judd's prediction.
Write this down.
And instead, it was just weird silence for 4 seconds.
As they say, silence is golden. That allowed the show to breathe. Everyone said, "Oh," the show just took a nice deep breath before Judd's write that down, which is positive. Again, oh my God, who am I? Za'Darius Smith will have the Vikings' first sack of the season against his former teammates, the Packers, in Week 1. So I think he's going to be incredibly jacked up for this game. I was going to predict it was Hunter, but then I'm like, no, you know what? It's going to be Za'Darius Smith will have the first sack of the season for the Vikings against the Packers in Week 1.
I love Judd putting out his week 1 predictions on May 18th. Big fan.
You know,
Love it.
I was at the practice yesterday. All
Yeah,
juiced
you
up
got
for
the
football.
you got the itch, baby. I love it.
All juiced up for football. I am as excited to see this year for the Vikings as I've been in a long time. Just
How
because my
did-
curiosity's so huge.
How did the reporters look after some time off? You know, it's been a couple weeks since the draft, and it's been the off season. Were
Yeah, you know-
reporters pretty dialed in, or were they looking kind of sloppy? What was the
You know what?
the
I think
situation?
they were sharp. Lots of guys in good shape and gals. Yeah, the reporters I think were on point.
It's tough too because the roster's kind of changed up. Courtney Cronin's gone now. Kevin
Yep.
Seifert's coming back in here after a beat writing
Seifert
hiatus.
and I back there yucking it up, talking about Ticey
Good old
and the old
days.
Ticey in 2005 and the Culpepper year. Yeah, I mean,
God.
it was very solid. Very
Amazing.
solid.
Write this down.
All right, Declan.
All right, write this down. We talked about this during the schedule release when we picked it. But write it down. The Cowboys will have fired Mike McCarthy by the time they play the Vikings in Week 11.
Wow.
That's a
They're
touchdown.
gonna-
That's
You've
an
been
early
itching for this.
firing, man. Yeah.
You've been itching to make this
By,
prediction.
by the way, the first 5 games for the Cowboys, Buccaneers, Bengals, Giants, Commanders, Rams. Like, it's not a lock that this team's going to be off to a hot start. And they play the Packers the week
Dude,
before they play the
and-
Vikings.
And they're worse than they were last year.
Yeah,
And the head coach in waiting is right by Mike McCarthy.
he's right keeping that seat warm.
And
Kellen
Dak
Which
Moore.
one is that? Is that Dan Quinn or Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore, according to Declan.
There
I'm
we
going
go.
Kellen
Yeah,
Moore.
well,
That's a good.
Interim Dan Quinn would get it. Interim. They wouldn't.
Declan would be.
You want to make it a
Declan would
parlay,
go-
Declan?
I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold that one off. I'm going to
That's
hold
a
that one
smart.
off.
See, Declan's learned. He's been burned a lot.
Yeah.
That's a
No,
very
I want this
smart
touchdown as
move
it is.
Because I like Rob. I like your idea. Like that would take cojones to be like, yeah, and here's the interim coach.
I'll have you know that I'm disappointed. There are no sports books offering a sneak
First
peek
coach
at the
fired.
first coach fired odds yet.
Not
we do
yet.
we
Soon
do
enough.
have coach of the year odds on the other side. And Brandon Staley is actually number 1 according to VegasInsider.com. Really?
Yuck.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because he'll go for it 18 times on
Yeah.
4th down and make
Really?
it 5.
I'm trying to find
What are
Mike
his
McCarthy on
odds
here.
for that?
Plus 1,400 right now.
For
So,
Staley?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Everyone's
wow,
kind of
that's
jumbled.
right.
Staley, Dable, Hackett, Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel. Everyone's jumbled. We got to let the OTAs play out before we can see who's really doing a crappy job as a
And
coach.
the mini
Right.
camp, no question about it. Kevin O'Connell, dark horse. Come on, he's coming up the rail. No one sees him coming.
All right, write this down. And stop me if someone made a similar prediction here, but I mean, so Chris Sims already started tweeting out his top 40 quarterback ratings this morning. He's 36
Oh, nice.
through 40. He unveiled today, and I don't know if like every day he unveils 5 more, or how that works. But write this down. Chris Sims will leave Kirk Cousins outside of his top 15 quarterback ratings.
Whoa.
So he will not be anywhere 1 through 15.
Will
He will
Kellen
be
Mond
outside
be
the top
above
15.
be above Kirk Cousins because Chris Sims loved Kellen Mond.
He did. It'll be interesting to see where he puts Mond. Mond was not between 36 and 40, so we have to assume he's either higher than that or somewhere outside the top.
Teddy was 39, right?
Yeah. He said he would not want Teddy Bridgewater as a starting quarterback because he doesn't take chances enough, and his knees are a ticking time bomb. Other than that, Teddy's great. All right, back to Rob, your third and final prediction.
All right. I should probably apologize in advance for this one. I understand I'm probably going to upset a few Scolders who prefer 20th century football. All right. So now that we've got that disclaimer, okay,
The Scolders. Let's get it.
Cultures.
write this down. After June 1st, the Minnesota Vikings will clear $2.7 million in cap space by releasing CJ Ham. Also, a bit of a parlay here. The Minnesota Vikings will use that money to sign Jadeveon Clowney.
Wow.
Holy.
Wow.
You're coming in hot right there.
I'm loving this, man.
This
You're
is-
coming in
this
hot.
Reckless speculation. Oh my gosh.
Got to have some insurance for a couple of oft-injured edge rushers in Danielle Hunter and Za'Darius Smith.
Yep.
Kwesi was with them last year in Cleveland. free up that money for him, and let's get after some quarterbacks.
Rob is bringing the spicy takes and predictions here.
Write this down.
It's great. He's blending segments together. Amazing. Well, Rob, since you've got this platform here, this life-changing moment here, these 10 minutes that you'll remember for the rest of your life, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you right here, right now?
Well, I would, Phil, and I appreciate the question. Personally, he's not in my life. I wish he was. But since we have the platform today, I'm going to take the opportunity to thank a longtime friend of the show, Tom Thibodeau, and his running mate, Scott Layden, for showing the state of Minnesota, albeit for just 1 year, what it looks like to play winning basketball by bringing Jimmy Butler into Minneapolis, letting him play for the Timberwolves. So tip of the cap to Tom Thibodeau, Scott Layden. Sorry that Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins are mentally and emotionally soft. And hey, go Jimbo.
Isn't it kind of funny that the Miami Heat, through all of the conflict, literally Jimmy Butler challenging Eric Spoelstra to a fight in the middle of a game, and Udonis Haslem and Jimmy Butler having to be separated, and like they're going through all of that and are probably going to make the NBA Finals.
Hey, you know what? Some people just call that Heat culture, Phil. That's what it is.
Heat culture, man.
Say it with me. Switch.
Carl. Amazing, man. All right, Rob. Great stuff, dude. We'll get you on again for sure sometime.
Appreciate you guys.
Good luck with your predictions, man.
I'll need it.
All right.
That was good stuff.
Love it. Rob bringing some great plays to the Write That Down playbook right there. All right, Judd, your third and final prediction presented by your favorite beverage.
Oh, that's right. Because my favorite beverage, no question about it, it's made by my friends at Surly Brewing, who make so many delicious, delicious beers. I'm personally a Furious guy, but we got Drips and Drops. We got Hell. We have so many great choices. And as the weekend approaches and you think to yourself, I got to go to the liquor store to pick up a 6-pack of something, make it a Surly and make sure. In fact, I believe right now, I saw it at a liquor store last weekend, there is a new variety pack out as well. It's sort of a summery thing. It looks good. It's very Declan-like, which is awesome. So anyway, Surly Brewing, always giving you the best options.
We also have a new partner on board here for the summer. Brainerd International Raceway, Dex, it's a blast. If you've never gone up there to watch racing, it's a great little weekend extravaganza for sure.
Yeah, America's fastest drivers are coming to Minnesota for an experience of a lifetime. Brainerd International Raceway is bringing Discovery Channel's Street Outlaws. No Prep Kings to the Brainerd Lakes area June 17th and 18th. Join Brainerd International Raceway and Street Outlaws for a weekend of fun and competition as your favorite drivers battle it out for bragging rights and huge cash prizes. Kids 12 and under get in free too. Visit BIRMN.com. That's BIRMN.com for camping and ticket information.
All right, Judd, your
Write
third
it down. You like writing things down.
and final prediction.
It is this. Oli Udoh, a starting right guard. I still don't know why for the Vikings in 2021, and he has moved positions. We'll get to that in OTA observations, but write this down. Udoh won't be on the Vikings opening day roster this season.
Oh man, that's a
He's
wrap.
not going to make the team. He's not going to make the team.
So
He's
it's the
going-
53?
So yes, so he will be gone by final cuts. So he will not be on the opening day. Exactly, Declan. 53-man roster. No more Oli.
So, well, I was going to ask you. We'll get to it in observations because there's a lot of interesting offensive line observations
Yesterday, I'm just going to tell you that right now. I saw something. Shit.
You know, in general, after watching what happened last year with him, the right move was bringing two veterans who've done it before to just be in front of him on the depth chart, right? And then drafting some. He was so bad. They literally signed two veteran guards and drafted one in the second round?
He was so bad that I'm about to tell you in just a little bit where he's playing now because he's no longer playing guard.
Okay. He's holding, actually. He's
Write this down.
He's just.
a holder now. He's just a gigantic.
Oh, I thought you were
300
holding guys.
Well, no, I mean,
I got you.
He's the.
I got you.
Last year he was a holder, and now he's the literal holder, is what I'm saying. All right, Declan, your third and final prediction.
All right, write this down. A little USFL prediction, as I say I always do, with another great football league that is playing football. The Stallions and Generals will win both their games in the USFL this week. The Stallions and Generals. You guys see those teams? Love football. We'll win both their games in the USFL this week. Write it down.
Don't think I don't know the Generals are favored by 7 over the Gamblers in my research.
That's right.
Write that down today.
That's
so,
right.
in order to deviate a little bit from Declan here, I'm also going to make a USFL
good
prediction because
God.
I'm a junkie. And listen, Declan and I are doing right by the sport of Write That Down. We want predictions to
Correct.
come off the board. We're not just going to make predictions for 6 months from now. So write this down. So the Generals are, congratulations. The Generals are favored right now by 7 over the Gamblers in most sports books. Okay.
Yep.
You can double it at least. The Generals will, I'm looking for a touchdown here. The Generals will win this game by at least 14 points over the Gamblers. Write it down. Generals by at least 14 over the Gamblers.
Write this down.
Booyah. Someone pointed out that ESPN's been ignoring all USFL coverage. And like, well, why is that? Well, 1, because it's the USFL. But 2, because they just signed a big deal or some sort of a deal with the XFL.
Yeah.
The what again, Coach? Thank you. I was going to say, if you say the XFL like that.
Hell in a cell. That's where the championship game should be played inside Hell in a Cell. No rules, no referees, just 60 minutes of chaos.
Oh my God.
So, all right, that's Write That Down, boys, right there. The only show in America that actually keeps track of our predictions and holds each other accountable. It is time now for Judd's training camp, or I should say organized team activities observations here. You were at OTAs.
That's right. That's correct.
Yesterday, taking furious notes. So, what did you see? Give us the best of.
Okay, first of all, I teased it. Oli Udo is now the backup second team left tackle, which is why I don't think he makes the team, because I think they keep a swing tackle, and I don't think he's going, well, insert your own joke about swing. But I don't think he is going to make the team because I don't think he's going to be their choice to be their primary backup at right and left tackle. But in fairness, and to cut him some slack too, he was a tackle until last July when they called him up and said, we're going to try you at guard. And I believe they had gone through, by that point, all of their offseason camps. And they're just like, oh, dude, we're going to move you to guard. So he got a raw deal. He got screwed. But that being said, he is now the left tackle on the second team for now. Okay. And my guess is they keep one tackle to back up at both spots, like Rashad Hill used to do.
But Jesse Davis can play. He was not good at tackle, but Jesse Davis can play tackle.
That's what I'm saying. Is I think it's going to become a numbers game, and that ultimately that's why I said that and write that down. Ole is going to be out.
Interesting. I feel like it's so hard because the guy has a ton of experience now. He got thrown into the fire, but experience isn't always good experience. It may have just been like there's been a couple quarterbacks. Remember when Ryan Lindley got 8 or 10 starts or something for the Cardinals, and he's got all this, or Nathan Peterman, right? And then these dudes.
Unfortunately, I do. Yes.
Oli Udo's experience may have just been too much for 32 NFL teams to look at and say it's a good thing. So all right, so he's pretty much out of the picture. What about the rest of the offensive line?
Yeah, so first team offensive line, and they did a lot of work. So what they're doing is installation, because like I got notes about, well, who looked good, who didn't look good, how did the backup receivers look? Full disclosure, this was OTA 2 in the first one that we had access to. They're not working on things that are going to show us what guys are doing. Like they're not like, it's not like they're going through training camp plays, okay? So they are literally right now doing installation. So like you don't see, what you see is personnel groupings, and O'Connell did a ton of work with the first team offense. In fact, he had a walkie-talkie calling plays. And I think
Mike Zimmer, that seems like old technology. Yeah. A walkie-talkie.
It was like a walkie. It might have been a new fancy one. And I think he was calling plays into Kirk. But anyway, first team offensive line, Darisaw, no surprise, left tackle. Ezra Cleveland, no surprise at left guard. Brian O'Neill, no surprise at right tackle. Two interesting things here. One, Garrett Bradbury, as of right now, unchallenged at center. He's the guy. And I say that because of this. At right guard, they rotated just the first team installation work between veteran free agent signees, Chris Reed, who we've talked a lot about, and Jesse Davis. So Doogie has told us that he expects that Reed might actually be the backup center and could even challenge Bradbury. But as of right now, the center position, Garrett Bradbury. OTA
Okay.
too, so but it was interesting.
Couple thoughts on that.
Yep.
Contractually obligated to say J.C. Treader, so like they could sign a top 5 center tomorrow if they wanted to.
Yep.
And now the problem is fixed.
Yep.
But if they're not going to do that, are they looking at him and saying, "All right, we're going to commit all in 1 year. We saw some things on tape or whatever it is, or schematically, we just feel like he's very similar to what Brian Allen was as the starting center for the Rams, that we're just going to pour it all into into Garrett Bradbury, and at worst we can at least get him to be a league average center." I mean, is it a vote of confidence? Did they strike out trying to find someone in the draft to give him a run? This is why I'm so curious to know, is this a vote of confidence that he has just run unchecked to this point and he's going to be the starting center, or is there a move in their back pocket that they just aren't going to make until June,
If you take what O'Connell said at the Combine as gospel, like if we're going to assume that he wasn't blowing smoke, he basically said Bradbury is our guy. And until I see something on the field that contradicts that, I'm going to assume he wasn't lying. Do I like that? No, absolutely not. Reed will get snaps, I think, because I do think that Doogie's right. He will be the backup center. But to use your term, Phil, yeah, unchecked. That's a good term. And I don't know if they see something on film that they think that they can fix by the schematics of things. I don't know. But to me, it's one of the biggest questions, because this offense is pretty good, pretty damn good.
Another
so
question.
That's the hole I see. That's the problem.
Yeah. Another question for Journo Judd to go ask at some point. And I don't know that you'll get a straight answer from like a podium setting, so it might have to be more of an off to the side or off the record discussion.
Yeah.
How much has bad right and left guard play impacted Garrett Bradbury in his 3 years? Some of it's got to be on him. You got to be better at your job.
Right.
But when you got Drew Samia and you've got Oli Udoh just gasping for air, trying to keep their head above water as a starting right guard,
Right.
it's probably hard to do your job when the guy to your right can't do his job too, right? So if you replace Oli Udoh with a Chris Reed and you just got someone that's a professional and a veteran, how much does that elevate Garrett Bradbury? And then how much, did it shipwreck him that he didn't have someone like that?
They must have a plan where they think, though, that they can somehow get around the fact that in his first, 3 years or so, Bradbury has been picked up and thrown around like a rag doll. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the only thing, because the guard's not going to. And look, he played 2021 with Cleveland to his left, who is, I think, fine. Like, I don't think he's great, but I think he's absolutely fine. So, yeah, they definitely know. I don't know exactly what it is. See something that they think that they can get around and fix. And of all the things that they're doing offensively, it's the one thing I'm not sure that they're right about. Like, I think offensively, they've got a lot of good things going for them. I think Kevin O'Connell certainly appears to know what he's doing offensively. That's the one where I wonder if we're going to get to like week 5 and it's going to be like, oh, you know what? We miscalculated this one.
Yeah. So interesting to see. At this point, you just have to say, all right, well, you guys fire away. We've seen
100%.
stranger things. A new coaching staff, offensive minded, comes in. They see a guy they like, and we'll see what happens. All right. What else did you observe yesterday at OTAs?
Very interesting, and this comes back to my first write that down prediction that Irv Smith Jr. will catch a touchdown in week 1. I observed the fact that after expecting him to just like do some work to the side, which a few guys were, Irv Smith took part in the installation drills, which means, so to be clear here, you can't be hit. Like, there's no tackling, it's no, but you do have to cut and like you run off the line of scrimmage, which ordinarily is no big deal. But Irv Smith is coming off a meniscus surgery that I think was pretty extensive after the final preseason game last year. Irv Smith Jr. taking part in that is a very good sign, because that clearly means that his progress is being expedited.
And
So,
by the way,
that's great.
KOC is actually talking right now on day 2 of OTAs, and I just saw this come across in the Pioneer Press. On Irv Smith Jr., he said, I know there were a lot of folks excited about him last fall before that injury. He's going to be a major part of what we do this season. Said Vikings have to be responsible, though, as he returns from injury. So
Yes, and he is going to be, I will continue to say this, he is going to be, best case, a hybrid tight end receiver, because I do think that this team is not going to use the traditional tight ends as we grew accustomed to, Rudolph and Conklin. Those guys are fine. But I think this offense is going to rely far more on being a bit more high flying.
They value
Smith
speed.
Fits the role. And Smith fits that role. And the reason why I think Smith again could be, if he can stay on the field, obviously sitting on a huge year, it's because I do think that Cousins is going to see him as a safety net.
And that's a pretty damn good safety net.
Correct.
It's going to be a more
It's better than
explosive
Conklin.
safety net. Yes.
Bingo. Agree
Yep.
completely.
Absolutely. All right.
Are you seeing why, in the quotes that from KOC, why Kendricks wasn't taking part? Because that was going to be my last thing. Kendricks was not taking part in the drills. He came out late, so he was there, but he was not taking part. And I don't know if there's something going on there or if it was, who knows? It could be twins. Like, we had to get him off his feet.
Well, he's like 30, and he's been around for a long time.
I was being a smart ass.
No, I know.
Oh.
Would there be a reason maybe why he would just be chilling as a veteran?
It's a new defense. No.
Yeah.
Like, because you're installing things.
Is he mad about only having 1 year left in his contract? One year of guarantees left?
Oh boy, he was there, so who knows?
He would probably just not show up if he was mad about his
harmony,
contract.
peace, right?
I think it's fine. Harrison Smith's wife had a baby or something, so that's why he wasn't there. Which I'm sure you didn't approve of. You can't miss practice when you're installing a new defense.
All I know is Packers.
You can always
have
have
all their
another
safeties.
kid. You can always have another kid. You're not going to get a year back of your NFL career, though.
Well, on that day,
Got to show up to practice.
More importantly, success is incremental. Success is measured by the minute, and when you're not there, you're not being successful. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm sure years from now, that kid will be like, Dad, I want to thank you for being there the day I was born. I remember coming out into the world and seeing you right away.
Hey, tell the audience that's watching on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, what's that Folly coffee mug that's sitting in front of your big giant mug above it?
Folly, it's Folly coffee. So earlier today, I told you, Judd does not lie. Judd will tell you that he's dropped weight, looks a bit better, but obviously doesn't think that he looks great. Well, that's because from the man that brought you Surly Brewing, from the man that has told you for how long now, you can't go wrong. And people come back and say, you're right, Judd. Surly is great. I bring you Folly Coffee. They are a local company with a simple mission of providing you the best coffee available. Rob and Jeff run the place. They do it absolutely right. Jeff is the head roaster and a top 15 coffee taster in the United States of America. That's right. Fully customizable coffee subscription to match how much coffee you drink and your favorite flavors, which means that when you're low on coffee, guess what shows up? Another batch of Folly. You don't run out. Go to follycoffee.com, FOLLY, as you can see right here on this mug. Coffee.com. Use the code word SCORE at checkout for 10% off your first order. Follycoffee.com. Code word SCORE at checkout, 10% off. I've been consuming this for about 4 or 5 days now. It's delicious. You'll like it.
Love it. Love it. Also, our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company, they've been helping us for years just keep this thing moving forward at Score North, Purple Daily, Mackey and Judd. And they've been helping business owners for over 100 years. They're based in Owatonna, Minnesota. They specialize in risk management tools and resources, and they specialize in core industries that they know and understand as opposed to selling as many policies as possible. Federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. All right, for tomorrow, we got a random Viking of the week. We saved an interesting camp observation, quarterback related, because we feel like it's worth fleshing out a little bit more on tomorrow's episode as well. Plus, what other people are saying about the Vikings. We're going to sort of unofficially debut a new segment on the show. It's Daily Vikings Entertainment, Purple Daily.